the docuseries has taken the streaming world by storm, but for some very troubling reasons. With a succession of high kicks, jump lines and, to be honest, really underwhelming pom-poms, the Netflix docuseries, America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, aka DCC, has exposed the sexist, outdated, misogynistic, highly problematic, even dangerous reality of the elite cheerleading organization. Directed by award-winning director Greg Whiteley, the 7-episode series follows the 2023-24 DCC squad from start to finish, starting at the audition process and training camp through the entire NFL season. Arguably, the show does what it was meant to do, transparently sharing the emotions, challenges, and joy experienced along the cheerleaders' journey, or as Executive Vice President/Chief Brand Officer and Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders President, Charlotte Jones says, exactly what our fans and viewers would want. However, in doing this, it also puts a huge spotlight on how highly problematic the DCC is. When I say problematic, as anyone else who has viewed the popular series will know, I mean really problematic. It is also, as the DCC leadership would say, a part of the tradition and so deeply ingrained in the organization that it infiltrates everything from the cheerleaders' eyebrow shape to how much they earn. The same since 1972. I'll start with the preoccupation, or fixation with appearance, because it seems this is where the judgment begins at the DCC. This has been a part of the organization since its beginning in 1972, when guidelines were written up about how the cheerleaders should and shouldn't look, and have remained overwhelmingly unchanged for 40-plus years. This includes the expectation that the cheerleaders must maintain their weight, that they must look well-proportioned in dance wear, they are even measured for their belly button to short waistband ratio, and that you can't wear underwear under the white shorts. Good luck for game days while menstruating, ladies. The series director, Whiteley, has publicly commented about the misalignment between the DCC values and those from 2024, telling Glamour, "The world is moving in one direction, and here's this institution that's been largely the same since 1972 but is still wildly popular and wildly successful. It's an interesting dilemma," says Whiteley. "I don't know what you do about it. Toxic control of cheerleaders' bodies. Neither does DCC director, Kelly Finglass, it seems, or maybe she just doesn't care. Because she and Jones are often the ones at the helm, picking apart the women's appearance and bodies as if it's their duty, and with an expectation that the women should be grateful for it." At one point, Finglass asks whether one cheerleader is carrying more weight in her face, and in another episode, she zooms in on official photographs of the women cheerleading at a game, analyzing the shape of eyebrows, mascara application, and another's face which looked weird but thankfully could be cropped out. This toxic control was explained by both the executives and the cheerleaders as upholding the world-class image of the DCC, a necessary task to complete. However, for most people, this would be seen as highly unnecessary and a fast track to body image and appearance issues, something that dancers are often predisposed to. Viewer slam pay disparity. Aside from this dangerous and irresponsible attitude around body image and appearance, another of the main issues highlighted throughout the series is the pay disparity. There is much speculation on the cheerleader's exact wage, with 2022 DCC alum Kat saying that her salary was similar to a Chick-fil-A worker who works full-time. This is generally around $25,000 per year, $35,000 Australian dollars. Despite the skills and ability required to even qualify for auditions, the rigorous and highly competitive selection process, the workload, hours of practice and training, being on call 24/7, taking part in publicity and appearances, being representatives of the DCC at all times, meaning after hours and while working their other full-time jobs, and putting their bodies on the line with high kicks and jump splits. Yes, despite this, they are paid a tiny fraction of pretty much any other employee of the Dallas Cowboys. The highest-paid players of the Dallas Cowboys take home around $50 million a year. The mascot, Rowdy, earns $65,000 US, and the Dallas Water Boys earn $53,000 US. This inequality is expected according to the bigwigs at the Cowboys, with Jones explaining that it is about a sisterhood that they are able to form. Not about money, but sisterhood. They're not paid a lot. But the facts are, they actually don't come here for the money. They come here for something that's actually bigger than that to them. They have a passion for dance. There are not a lot of opportunities in the field of dance to get to perform at an elite level. It is about being a part of something bigger than themselves. Overwhelmingly, and rightly, though, the public response has not been so receptive to this explanation. Men don't play football for money either. They play for the game, yet they get paid, one angry viewer wrote on Instagram. This conversation is outdated and old. The Cowboys are a multi-billion-dollar organization. They can afford to pay their cheerleaders more. Every NFL, NBA, NHL team can. That woman speaking is gaslighting her own gender and throwing these incredibly hardworking women and talented dancers under the bus, another wrote, presumably about Finglass. It's abhorrent that this pay is tolerated. Shameful. Wrote another, they do it for the sisterhood and passion for dance. Well, I guess we can stop paying NFL players so much since they do it for the brotherhood and love of the game, right? Stop gaslighting women and pay them their worth. Former NFL GM places Dallas Cowboys Micah Parsons in elite company. Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons has developed a reputation as one of the most disruptive pass rushers and truly elite defenders in the sport. Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys. Parsons' skill set keeps opposing offensive coordinators awake at night and is the caliber of player a quarterback needs to be aware of before every snap. Last season, Parsons posted a career-high 103 quarterback pressures, in addition to his 14 sacks, which also represents a new career high. A cornerstone player along the Cowboys' front seven, Parsons' career continues to be on the ascent. One former general manager believes Parsons resides in rarefied air among the NFL's biggest stars. Dallas Cowboys Micah Parsons among elite players under 25 years old. NFL Dallas Cowboys give Micah Parsons fifth-year option. Former Minnesota Vikings general manager and executive of the year winner, Jeff Diamond put together a list of the top players in the league under the age of 25, with Parsons coming in second behind only Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Micah Parsons is a three-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler since he joined the Cowboys as their first-round pick in 2021, when he was the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Diamond points out for the 33rd team. He has demonstrated his great speed and strength as a consistent playmaker in run defense, 213 career tackles, and as a double-digit sack getter each season, 40.5 career sacks and 7 forced fumbles. Parsons awaits a huge extension, which he's now eligible for as he enters his fourth season. It should put him equal to or above Nick Bosa's $34 million per year as the league's highest-paid defensive player. How unique and disruptive is Parsons? Diamond lists only New York Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner and Baltimore Ravens defensive back Kyle Hamilton as the only other defensive players, besides Parsons, in his top 10. While Parsons' contract drama lingers over the Dallas Cowboys offseason, a motivated Parsons this season could lead to an even more prolific 2024 campaign than we have seen to date in his 3-year career. Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb's asking price for contract extension reportedly leaked. The Dallas Cowboys have some significant roster decisions to make as training camp draws closer and closer. They still need to figure out the contract extension for quarterback Dak Prescott, who could make close to $60 million per year, if not more, based on the market value of NFL quarterbacks right now. Not signing him to an extension could mean that the team may lose him to free agency next offseason. Of course, Prescott is not the only Cowboys player that is up for a new contract. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and linebacker Micah Parsons are also due for massive paydays. It is Lamb, however, who has dominated headlines all offseason because of his decision to hold out from team activities until his contract negotiation is resolved. For weeks, many have speculated as to what amount of money Lamb is seeking on his next deal. While the figure has not been confirmed by Lamb, his representatives, or the Cowboys, a rumored leak of his demand has many wondering if the two sides will ever come to an agreement. This offseason has been very eye-opening in terms of the amount of money that top-tier wide receivers are getting from various teams in the NFL. The Detroit Lions gave Amon-Ra St. Brown a 4-year $120 million contract earlier this year, meaning that he will earn $30 million per year. Later, the Minnesota Vikings gave Justin Jefferson a 4-year $140 million deal, one that will pay him $35 million per season. According to 1X, formerly Twitter, user, Lamb is reportedly asking the Cowboys for $32 million per season. While this account may seem to be simply farming for engagement, it is noteworthy that respected Cowboys report Tom Downey seems to have accepted that the figure is true. $32 million per year for Ceedee Lamb isn't even him asking for that much or playing hardball. Zero reasons to not get that deal done before training camp outside of continued organizational incompetence. $32 million per season would tie Lamb with Philadelphia Eagles star A.J. Brown as the second highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. If that number is indeed accurate, it is easy to see why the Cowboys and Lamb have not come to an agreement. It is a staggering number, especially since Prescott is due a massive pay raise as well. Does Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Ceedee Lamb deserve $32 million per year? As mentioned, $32 million would essentially make Lamb the second highest paid wide receiver in the NFL behind Jefferson. The question is whether or not he deserves it. Last season, Lamb led the NFL with 135 receptions while also racking up 1,749 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. Since coming into the NFL in 2020, here is how Lamb stacks up against Jefferson and Brown, the two current highest-paid wide receivers in the NFL. As one can see, the numbers are very comparable. Based on his production over the last 4 seasons, there is no reason why he should not be one of the two highest-paid wide receivers in the NFL. Whether or not the Cowboys will decide he is worth it is another question that remains to be answered.